Thank you, Commissioner Giangeloso. We all would like to just take a moment and also recognize a few other people of importance amongst us. With the Lyndhurst High School, we have the principal, Dr. Gene Gordon. We also have with us the vice principal, Mr. Frank Venetia. We also would like to acknowledge the superintendent of our schools, and that's going to be Dr. Tracy Marinelli. Thank you for all being here today and your support. At this time, I would like Cindy Branco to step forward and address the people today.
I also want to acknowledge Dr. Stringham. I work at North Arlington in the school district, and our superintendent of our schools, Dr. Stringham, is here. I just want to welcome everybody for coming today, members of the community and our guests. This event is a huge undertaking for our family. Even though we did this 5 years ago, you would think it was so much easier, but it's really not. It's been 10 years since the attack, and so much has changed. The journey to do this is a roller coaster. It's never dull. It's always something different going on. We have garnered so much support this year doing this for the balloon release. We're so lucky to have the support and good wishes and encouragement from our community, our friends, the family members of the victims, and that's really what got us through. When you think like you can't do it anymore, that's really what gets you through. This is 6 months of incredibly hard work to honor people that we lost. We hope that we show respect for the victims and their families, and we want all the families to know that our family will never forget what happened on September 11th, and will always honor them. We would like to recognize the families from our town, from Lyndhurst, the Lalore family, the Calvi family, the Lee family, and the Grisales family. We would also like to recognize all of the other families who are here with us today who lost loved ones, including my husband's co-workers' families, and that's Jill Marie Maurer Campbell. Her family is here, and so is Stephen Weinberg's family. My daughter Angel is so important to her dad and I, and we couldn't be more proud of her endeavors and her hard work to make this a success, and we thank her for inspiring us to be better people. And I'd like to take a moment just to thank the sponsors and everyone who donated their time, especially Tom Witt and the members of the American Legion for their guidance and support, Commissioner Giangeloso and the rest of the town officials for their support in allowing us to use the town's facilities and resources, Dr. Marinelli, the superintendent of Lyndhurst, for supporting the event, encouraging the students to be involved today, and Dr. Gene Gordon also. The LHS band and the support of just the band and the color guard and stuff, they did a great job. The Mazzine and Lalore family, and especially Julianne, because she really does an amazing job with donations and getting the word out there. And the Calvi family, especially Miss Emma, for her words of encouragement and support. But last but not least, I want to thank my husband, Brian, because if it wasn't for him, this event wouldn't happen. He puts his heart and soul into this, and he's the strength of our family, so we love him very much. And here's my daughter.
Good morning. We always learn about different equally tragic historical events that really affected our country. We've learned about when JFK was assassinated, also when Martin Luther King was shot outside his hotel room. I also learned about Pearl Harbor and all the different wars that we've gone through. We've all lived through something unlike we've ever seen in history. September 11th was a beautiful day, and I remember being in school. It wasn't too hot and it wasn't too cold. I was in 3rd grade and I remember being in class. Around 9:30, my principal walked in and announced that the World Trade Center was hit by 2 planes. They really didn't specify if it was an attack or if it wasn't, and I felt an odd sense of relief. I said, thank God it wasn't the Twin Towers. And the teacher aide in the room corrected me, and I basically froze. Like, I couldn't speak. I couldn't even fathom my dad not being here. And my best friend stood up and said that my dad worked there. A lot of families on September 11th didn't get to see their moms, their dads, their sisters, their brothers, their uncles, aunts, distant relatives, husbands, wives. And I'm one of those extremely lucky situations that had their dad come home that day. And he's still capable of working like a crazy person all the time, but things really did change. Like, he still makes time to have dinner with us, to have a casual movie night, maybe go out to the city and, do Rockefeller Center at Christmas time. And I couldn't really imagine him not being for major events happening in our personal lives, like me recently going to college, graduating high school. And as I stand before you all 10 years later, I see a lot of young faces. I see a lot of kids that I was their age when this happened, and I see that we have hope. I hope these balloons going up to your loved ones in heaven, that some people that lost coworkers and friends, they can give you hope eventually too. And one day, eventually, everything's going to be okay. But one thing is for sure, no day shall erase you from the memory of time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for those words of remembrance, because it's all about healing, and it's all about us staying together as one. There were two other organizations I failed to mention for recognition. That's the Lyndhurst Police Auxiliary, as well as the Lyndhurst CERT team. We just recently went through Hurricane Irene, and all those organizations that I mentioned, and all those organizations pulled together as one to get our community through that incident also. And I want to thank each and every one of them. Thank you. Standing to my right or your left is the Lyndhurst Fire Department. Right at the beginning of our ceremony, they were called out on a fire call. All first responders, police, fire, EMS, at a moment's notice, react as soon as the alarm goes off. That's what we do each and every day, and that's what those first responders do and did each and every day until they made their ultimate sacrifice. However, on this 10th anniversary, our fire department just had our 125th anniversary. But more than that, more than us having our 125th anniversary, there was a symbol. There was, I call a person, that was looking from our New Jersey, New York harbor and looking at the event that was unfolding in New York City. And that was the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty had a tear in her eye. She is also celebrating her 125th anniversary this year. Well, what I thought on that is, if the Statue of Liberty could stand in our harbor, sheltering and being battered by all the storms and all the events after 125 years, she's looking at us and saying that we can too weather the storm. So let's, again, remember that by standing together, we too will weather the storm like our Statue of Liberty.